MudRFunR here. Today I'm working on my 04 GMC Sierra. It's got the LLY Duramax in it. I need to change a filter on it today. When I first bought the truck about 6 years ago, there was an issue where it would just randomly shut off and you'd have to pump up the pressure, and I changed the filter and it resolved that problem. So today and yesterday it did the same thing on me again. It just driving down the road and it randomly conked out, and no sputter, no spit, no nothing, just shut down. Hopefully that's going to fix it. So I already have a video posted on doing a fuel filter change. I'm changing the water sensor that's on the bottom of the fuel filter. On my first fuel filter change video, I had broken off the wires here by accident. They were pretty brittle. I've been driving about 6 years now, 5 years at least, without one of these in there. So today when I change my filter, I'll be changing this as well. So on my last fuel filter change video, I did everything from the top here, and today I'll give you a little better view. I'm going to take out the plastic off the inside here and get it from the bottom. So if you don't have a tool to remove these clips, or if you don't know how to remove them, pop that center part. Sometimes it comes right out. The other part comes out, and they can be put back together just the same as they came apart, just like so. Alright, I got all the clips off. Just a matter of pulling that out. It's pretty rusty. So I have a pan underneath here and a little block of wood holding it up just until I can loosen this thing, and then I'll be able to hold the pan. Now there's a wrench that you can get for this, and I'm just using my channel locks. That's all I've ever used. Okay, I got it loose. Now if you had already changed your filter and ended up breaking this thing and you just wanted to replace the water sensor, well, this is how you would do it. Okay, so here comes the fuel. Alright. And there's your water sensor. So I put a old grease rag underneath the filter right here just so that I can catch any of the drips that are still left in it. And in my case, I'm going to change the filter, which I'm going to do right now. If you already know how to change your filter and you just want to see the part about putting the water sensor back in, then you'll have to skip to the end of the video. But this one's been on there for a while. Okay, still dripping. Alright. So your new filter should come with some O-rings, the bottom one and the top one. Right up there is where it's going to screw on, and what you want to do is wipe that clean up there, which it's probably going to be clean anyway. The main thing you want to make sure is that this O-ring hasn't stayed on the top there. You want to make sure that the O-ring is attached to the top of the old filter, like this one. Here's the new O-ring, and what I did was I dunked the O-ring in some diesel fuel. Normally I use engine oil, but I've seen other guys using diesel fuel, and that's what I'm going to do. And usually I'll put that back on, and then I'll put the filter on with the water sensor in it, but this time I'm going to do it differently. And rust tends to fall off, so be careful when you're putting this back in. Don't let any rust get in there. It's hard to get a good grip on it, but I'm going to give it one little bit there yet with the pliers. So according to the box, it's an original AC Delco part. There it is. And it comes with an O-ring already on it, so I don't need to use the one that came with the filter. And I'm just going to douse that with some diesel fuel. So you really want to pay close attention to this wire when you're putting it back on. Don't be a dummy like me and break them off. And I'll do the last little bit here with my channel locks again. Not too tight. And now I just got to find the other end of that wire. It hasn't been hooked up for a long time. Okay, the other end is right behind here. I don't have any contact cleaner to spray that out right there, but it looks fairly clean. And so what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of dielectric grease on the end of the new one, and hopefully that'll give me a good connection there. There, I heard it snap. Wow, that's pretty tight. Alright, well that's as good as it's going to get right there. So, there it is, got it in place. Now I just got to bleed the system. As you can see, I've already replaced this plug once before. This is an aluminum one. Those plastic ones are garbage. You're probably better off using a socket on a plastic one. Okay, so alright, the O-ring stayed on the nut there. Don't lose it. Okay, so now just get your fuel coming up through the top there. Oh, and by the way, I wrapped a cloth all the way around that to catch any of the fuel when it comes gushing out. Speaking of, alright, almost looks like it might have a few air bubbles left in it yet. Oop, not there, it doesn't. Okay. So I'm not sure if you're going to stay there once I start the engine up. You're probably going to end up falling over. But I'm going to try it anyway. So I've been out for a test drive. I got out the big light bar and there's no leaks anywhere. Runs great, and I'm going to see if it'll fire right up. before you go, make sure you subscribe and you hit the like button if you like the video. And I still have one more thing left. I want to show you the diesel that came out of the fuel filter after I test it one more time. Alright, that starts up a lot better. Before it cranked for a while before it fired up. So that part's fixed, and now I'll let you have a look at the diesel fuel that came out. So there's my diesel fuel. I've let it sit for quite a while now, and got a fairly clean jar, and I don't see any visible signs of water in the bottom of it there. I don't see any water.